All right, all right. Another day, hopefully not as boring as yesterday. Let's see what we have here. I keep forgetting to do this with Weeble. One moment. Keep forgetting about that. I'll get it down eventually. Right. There we go. Good morning, everybody. So we had MNDR pop up really early this morning. Okay, we got PBM. Actually looks like it's moving. Okay, first pullback got bought up. Okay, a lot more volume on this second minute candle. I'm actually gonna take a long here in at 29. On this second leg down, it was on lighter volume. I'm wondering if this is overblown, but there was more volume on this second candle. This has some momentum behind it. This could break back up. All right, sold half. I'm all out. All right. What is this? Literally 2 freaking minutes into the day, and we're already doing better than yesterday. Ridiculous. But yeah, during this pullback, this second half of the leg was on lighter volume. And considering this setup looked strong, that was just enough for me to go for it. I wanted to see the break of 350. When we tapped 350 and hesitated, I figured I was already up quite a bit, so just take the rest off. Nice solid first base hit. All right. What a way to start the morning. Okay, so this still looks like it has strength, right? We're seeing high volume. It's held up on its first pullback. My question is, can we see a return to high here? That would be the signal for me to consider a breakout to maybe like 430. I mean, the first test really would be 4, and if that breaks, then 430. How are we looking on the daily? Daily? I mean, 4 isn't really resistance on the daily. Right? 350 is a big one. Yeah. I didn't realize the daily at the time, but 350 is actually pretty big resistance. So me selling when it tested 350 was actually much smarter than I realized. Yeah, this is holding up well. Okay, good volume on this break of 350, but we're not really seeing great resolution yet. It's hesitating a moment. I think I'll just wait on this one. If it breaks out and we retest highs, that could be a signal. Yeah. My only worry was that this break of 350 didn't have immediate resolution. This is kind of what I'm worried about. I still think this looks strong. But this was a little bit higher than normal volume on this on the breakdown. Yeah, the red flag was this not breaking cleanly for me. That was what was making me hesitate to want to get back in. Good morning, John. So we had high volume on this second leg. This isn't quite... You got in on it too. Good base hit. Good stuff. Yeah, this looks decent. I don't like how it struggled to break through here, and I don't like how there was a bit more volume on these two candles. I'm like 50-50. I think this could go, but I also am seeing some weaknesses. I've seen 2 red flags now. I've also seen a couple green flags. So I'm like 50-50 on this. I think I'm just going to sit on the sidelines here. I've already made a pretty decent hit. I guess I can log it in the meantime. I'll probably give that an A quality. There was a lot of good things going for that one. You shorted at 354, took half off for profit at 330. Good stuff. Yeah, 350 is a critical level. On the daily, there was clear resistance there in the short term. So 350, 355 is really what to watch for. Seeing it break and hold above that level. Right now we're below it. I don't like how this flush down was on 2 higher volume candles. I give this maybe like a 40% chance of going up. I'm not interested in going long here. Yeah, interesting. So I sold on this first test of 350 just because I had gotten in at a good entry. And I sold going up to around like 345. I got out at 346. And then whenever it didn't break 350, I got out. Considering it curled and then broke and rejected it, I probably would have gotten out here if I had decided to hold. So the result would have probably been the same, regardless if I bailed on this first one or not. It's still kind of curling and holding here. Like I said, I still give it like a 40% chance. It's really good volume. Very high volume on that last 15 seconds. The question is, do I want to get involved with this again? Right at that 350 critical level. Since this is the most logical spot for it to fail, I don't think I'm going to get in at 350. I think I should just be patient. Because if it failed anywhere, this would be the most logical spot to fail. Or for it to just like break right above it, then immediately flush. So if we break 350 and we hold above it, the clear level to watch would be highs, high of day. And depending on if we break 350 and how we approach that high, this could be something to look for it to pull away to like 4 or 430. If it does that. As far as other things on the scanner, let me just take a look here. FGL's also here, but it's a penny stock. So this is probably the only thing in play today, at least for the 7 a.m. mark. And we broke above 350. We're holding there. So we went from 350 to 373. So we actually just retested the high, basically. Pretty good move, honestly. But we're seeing high volume here on this candle. I don't know. It looks like there's a fight going on. It doesn't look super clean to me. You could have bought this break of 350. I was too worried about a break and then immediate reverse. Maybe in a hotter market I would have given it a shot. They found a reliable source of tree bark. Whoa, that's crazy. Has established a sustainable supply of high-potency iboga bark. Oh man, that's a huge deal. Let's spike this thing up 50% on that news. Found some trees. Okay, we're kind of curling again. On lighter volume, though. Really testing this high here. We've tapped it once, twice, 3, 4 times. Trying to take a bounce at 350. Only half size, though. It looks like it might just be rolling over. This volume was high, but I don't know if it's high enough to justify this kind of move. I'm probably just going to have to sell early at like high 340s if we get that. I'm just going to cut it there, actually. It didn't have a new high here. I'm worried maybe someone's pressing it down. There is still the evidence that this thing looked overextended, but seeing it not resolve on the 15-second high here worried me. Only half size, though, because I knew this was a potential, that it could have just rugged hard. This still feels like an overreaction. Yeah, I'll try it again here. Again, half size. This was a bit weaker of a breakdown. True, we didn't see it immediately bounce, but this second leg down was also kind of low volume. It's just kind of stagnating here. All right, I'm out at 39. Small little bounce on that rejection attempt. I think my first attempt at this bounce may have been a little premature. The second attempt was much better. I had 2 different data points saying that this was overextended versus the first one. Yeah, but I mean, it was a pretty big drop, right? 379 down to 332. That's a pretty big dump. Maybe first trade setup was like this is what I did, 350, 353. Maybe 340s was safer. Yeah, I think I jumped the gun a little bit on that first knife attempt. I'll give that one a B. That was much higher. I did size correctly, though. I recognized the danger, so I reduced size. Appropriately so. I'd probably give it an A. No, B+, B+. Okay, so up 15, 48. No, seeing how this failed, I'm less inclined to trust it for another attempt. i.e., I'm not really interested in trading it near the highs. I didn't add anything at the 380s. I was hoping for 390s and above, so I'm just still sitting with 354 short. Yeah, I mean, I do jump for another leg down. I'm just saying that these initial spikes down should have warranted a pop, and they didn't get it. Well, the second one did, but the first one didn't. Okay, we're seeing actually higher volume on this breakdown this time. So this leg down could be more justified. So I don't buy this. If we go down to 290s, I think that would be a buy, as long as the volume isn't atrociously high. And actually, quite frankly, it is a bit high. So I don't actually think I would buy 290s unless this flush to 290s was on lighter volume. Then I would consider. If we bounce here, then we just bounce here. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying here. No, sir. This thing could go all the way back down for all I know. Okay, we are seeing a new low. Volume is somewhat low. I'm actually going to throw an order out here. 296 if we see a sudden breakdown. This volume was a bit lower on this candle. Yeah, this second candle was lighter volume. This could have a dead cat bounce here. I'm being a bit conservative, looking for a bit more of a breakdown. It could bounce here, though. Just gonna adjust my order down just slightly. All right, looks like we're actually seeing the break of 3, maybe. Testing 3 a lot. I'm just getting in here. That break looked somewhat weak. So I got in like 1 penny higher than I wanted. That's totally fine. I think we bounce here. I mean, maybe I'll be wrong, but this looks like... I mean, there's definitely someone who's been selling off on this, but this really needs a bounce. And this break of 3 was somewhat weak. I think there's 60% chance of a bounce here. Maybe 70%. Looking to take half off at around 306, 307. If we get there. Just gonna plug it in just in case it doesn't spike up to it. Really struggling around 3. Makes me worry there could be a hidden seller. We did see this here on this first attempt where someone was suppressing it here. I'm inclined to give it more breathing room this time just because this is so extended down. We'll see. Maybe I'm just wrong. Covered a little at 3, looking to cover the rest at 285. Yeah, I'm actually genuinely surprised that this break of 3 was on lower volume and it's not doing a bounce. All right, I'm taking half off. I'll keep the other half, but I'm losing conviction. The fact that this isn't immediately reversing. Like, I really expected this thing to have reversed within a short period. We've given it like 4 minutes. We keep seeing these pops into just sudden breakdown setups. I'm going to jump out here. The way this is moving, it really looks like someone is just laddering this down. I mean, if it pops here, it is what it is. I don't feel comfortable holding this any longer. I'm really worried we're going to see just a sudden flush down here. It really felt like someone was suppressing it this whole time. Like, for it to break 3 on such weak volume and then just not reverse is very... Like, the only reason it wouldn't do that, in my opinion, would be there was someone holding it down. And then it immediately breaks out. It is what it is. What did it go to? Did it go to 307? Okay, it went right to my cell levels, so I might not have gotten filled. Yeah. Alright. Is what it is. I think it was getting too dangerous to hold that, so I'm not upset with my decision. It's a good setup, too. Very frustrating. But yeah, see, we're up to 22 people in the chat. If you're liking the stream, please do leave a like. Helps me get the channel and the chat out to more people. And yeah, I would appreciate it. Okay. Now I feel justified for bailing. Oof. I'm telling you, somebody was holding this down. They let it pop to get people anxious to buy, and then they flushed it. I'm telling you, that's what happened. Yep. And honestly, I'll take a half size here. This second half of the leg down looked a bit weaker. All right, can we get something like 284? That's where I'd want to get out. So I got in because this first candle was on okayish volume, but the second one was light volume at the time. The second half of this candle had heavier volume. No, I don't feel confident to add here. The fact that I got in with this candle at low volume, it's not as bad as it looks. Because I know the context that the second half of this candle was the high volume. This could have been people buying here. There's an argument for that. I'll add another half here. Again, this part of the leg down was a bit lower on volume. Where did we start from? So we started from 270s. So we're actually red on the day. So the second half of this breakdown was on lower volume. Plus this breakdown was on lower volume. The only thing that's worrying is it's clear somebody has been dumping this whole time. It's crazy how something could have been this bullish half an hour ago, and now we're here. It's actually insane. Yeah, we'll see if anything comes on the scanners, because we are past the half hour as well. I'm just going to cut it. Cut it for roughly break even. I genuinely didn't think it was going to go this low. I think I just need to stop trading this one. I was somewhat accurate at the start, but it seems like my understanding of this seems to be getting worse with each trade. So I think I'm going to pivot off of this one. I somewhat read it, but I wasn't accurate enough. Like, when you're trying to time a dead cat bounce, when it's relentless selling pressure like this, I mean, you basically gotta hit it right. And because it's such a cold market, that's just making the timing that much harder. The fact that I'm like $1 red from that trade, I should be thankful. Frustrating. It's crazy too. If you look at just this first half of the move too, it just looks. This looks so bullish. And you just look at this. Like it's crazy how much sentiment can shift that quick. Well, I mean, no, that's wrong. This was clearly someone dumping, so this wasn't a sentiment shift. This was somebody, a large holder dumping. There was probably very high sentiment here. I think this was just somebody dumping. I'm not really seeing anything on the scanners either. Let me go ahead. Place these real quick. What was this, 4 trades? 5 trades. Okay, so I was trading this one. I was churning this one a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I think I need to be done with this one. Yeah, I saw it curling. I was like iffy about trying to touch it because the news wasn't super fresh. It's only a penny stock. I mean, I'll look at it. Might as well. STV. Ooh. Yeesh. Okay, well. Okay, so it looks like it died. But yeah, MNDR. I saw this one curling, but the news catalyst isn't super fresh. I don't think the volume's super high. Well, it's up there. It's not terrible. I mean, we clearly have room to move back up because it's already shown it can do it. All right, we clearly got this resistance at 330 here. Tapped it and it's pulling back a bit. I don't know. I'm not super confident taking a trade on this. Right, you look at the volume now compared to what it's been doing, and there's nothing too extraordinary about this. In fact, this volume's actually a bit lower than the grand scheme of the move. It's not irrelevant, but it's just... I don't know if this is the best opportunity. Low volume on the break here. We're only halfway into the minute though. It's going to be around like 170 at this pace. MNDR locates were insane expensive when it was at 450. Now they've gotten a bit better. Still super expensive. Like 30x normal price. Could bounce. No, I see there's still selling pressure here. So 330 down to 297 in 3 minutes. Yeah. Dodged a bullet with that one. It's just that there wasn't anything that made it stand out. That's the problem. Right? Relative volume for this period, much lower than the relative volume from the bigger moves earlier. Not as many people are going to have eyes on this. I mean, if this keeps selling off and we see volume drop, I could try for a bounce, but this volume's too high right now for me to feel comfortable trying to do a dead cat bounce. We also saw at 297 there was relentless selling. So this could just get pushed a lot lower. Okay, so we move down to 280s. A bounce here would have been 285. You could have gotten like a 10-cent bounce there. Looked a little too violent for me to be interested. Doesn't look very safe. Yeah, I think I'm just waiting till the top of the hour here. I mean, there's nothing really to look at. Out of curiosity, what happened with PBM? Did it keep dying or did it reverse? PBM. Okay, so it just kept dying. Gotcha. Yeah, it kept going lower. This is the market we're in too. In a hot market, even stocks that are suppressed, like seeing this kind of move where it just goes super low, like not only does it return to the previous level, but then it just keeps going. You don't see that super often in a hot market, but it feels like in this cold market, I've been seeing this like every day or every other day. Like this is just a shorter's market. Right, and flip-flop, you were saying you shorted it like, what did you say? You said like 354, I think. And the fact that this has gone down over $1, like you could have made a 33% return. That's, to me, that's insane. Like, and the fact that I think it's somewhat consistent right now. Right? Like I said, I've been seeing this kind of resolution like every day or every other day. Crazy. Could have made a full $1. I mean, you can't know though. Like, I mean, like you literally made over 50 cents a share. Like, you'd have to be crazy greedy to try and go for more. But it just feels like it's working lately. Or rather, it would have worked. But yeah, I should just be thankful that I've captured what little bit I've captured. I do think I overtraded slightly. 5 trades seems like a little bit much. Maybe this second or last 2 trades, maybe I shouldn't have taken. But at the same time, I mean, this move is quite extreme, too. This move is quite extreme. It was setting up to give potential dead cat bounce opportunities. Wow, MNDR couldn't catch that initial pump, but did make some profits from 237 to 4. Glad to see some bulls are back. Caught PBM as well. Made the daily go, and I'm done for the day. Done for the day. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. Now, yeah, PBM. Very interesting. I don't know if this was planned, like if somebody was intending to dump, and they were just trying to make it look rosy. Because you could figure, if someone knew beforehand they were going to dump, they could have intentionally had been buying some to create this good-looking chart pattern. That is a possibility in my mind. Can't really prove it, though. Yeah, MNDR looks like it's kind of just hovering around 3 right now. I mean, to me, it's just out of play. There's nothing really to look at. Scanners are dead. So yeah, it's really hard. It's a really hard market because basically not only does everything roll over, but there are only like 2 or 3 opportunities in the morning. Per morning. So man, the market is cold. Oh, it's beyond cold, dude. It's like we're in an ice age. I think that God, I'm like stuttering today. I think that MNDR move creates a lot of FOMO for bulls, but then they remember that this week has been dead, yeah. So they saw PBM and jumped on it. It's possible. Well, I would still argue against you, right? To me, seeing this high of a volume and this drastic of a move, like this isn't just longs bailing because we went below the previous close. To me, and not only that, but I was noting this, whenever we were seeing it try to curl, all these times it was trying to curl, I even verbalized this. I said, it looks like someone is suppressing this. There's a hidden seller that's blocking this as they're laddering it down. So to me, this isn't natural. To go from this bullish price action to someone large is laddering this down with hidden orders. To me, that looks, I don't want to say malicious, but intentional. I would push back on the claim that this was just... I do agree that there were probably bullish people that were FOMOing that got in here, but I don't think that explains the chart. MAGN earnings. Yeah, no, that's... I mean, I'll pull it up and look at it. You're getting like 4,000 volume a minute. Yeah, volume just feels too low. What's the spread? Probably big, right? Like a 30-cent spread. Closed there for a moment. But, I don't know. Spread's quite big and the volume's quite light. With that said, situation is improving a bit. Right, now we're 20,000 volume. Spread's a bit smaller. Looking at maybe like a 10, 15 cent spread now. So we had like this gap up, which is kind of weird. So they reported earnings yesterday. No, earnings scheduled for November 20th. Well, why is it saying they reported yesterday? It's looking like they reported yesterday, but this is saying that they're reporting today? I mean, the situation has improved, right? It went from 4,000 shares of volume untouchable to 20,000, 30,000 shares of volume with a 15-cent spread. So, like, the situation's improved. It's, like, almost tradable now. I still don't really know if I like this situation. The fact that it's already gapped up has me a bit worried of a flush. SGPX is also moving here, it looks like. Do you ever post my swing trades? No. The reason I don't do that is because some of the stocks that I swing trade are low float stocks, and because I am like, you know, like doing this kind of thing where I'm showing all of you guys, I'm worried that there could be kind of like a pump the stock scenario where I have, because like one of the stocks I'm in has only around 1 million shares float. And if I go and I show that to you guys and I get like, even just the subscribers, if I see 100 people can see that, I just think that's setting me up for potential like conflicts of interest and just a whole bunch of other problems. So no, I don't post my swing trades. I think it's unwise. Yeah, it's looking like they reported after hours yesterday. Yeah, I don't know if I trust this setup enough to get involved. Take a look at SGBX. Okay, so 703 was the high, 652. Okay, so we just kind of had a pump. Also worth noting too, check out the volume. This entire move up was on low volume. Then we see a spike and then high volume on the pullbacks. So this could turn into a pump and dump. With that said, on the 5-day, you can see that this has made a pretty big move. So this, there's also argument that it could curl. I don't like this setup though of increasing on low volume, dumping on high volume. I don't know if I like that. I think we're just waiting for the top of the hour here, see if anything comes out. Dang, this thing went all the way to like 220? That's crazy. That's actually insane. What does this look like on like the daily? So 220, so we're gapping down to like here. That's crazy. It's just the market we're in right now. MEGN looks like it's rolling over. Still high volume. I'm not really interested in that. All right, we're at the top of the hour. We'll see if anything comes out. Yeah, can you imagine the longs that were undisciplined and holding? Well, not only undisciplined and holding, but I guarantee you, PBM, I guarantee you there was probably someone who bought near these highs or in this area. They probably averaged down, then they averaged down, then they averaged down. And maybe their average is like $3 and they're in like 5x their normal size or something. You know there's probably someone that's done that. Yeah, but it's the tree bark news, dude. It's the tree bark news. It's such a solid move. Not the tree bark. Yeah, it's continuing to go down. Okay, we got AUID. Check it out here. So we saw an immediate pop into a reverse. Let's see what we got. We got around 10 million shares outstanding in that ballpark. Check daily. Daily kind of just a sell-off. Okay, we got around like maybe 2 for resistance. All right, what we got for news? Joins NVIDIA Connect program to advance enterprise and AI. Bunch of buzzwords, basically. Okay, so an immediate just total rejection. However, we're below the previous level. We've been kind of hovering around this level for the last few days, too. So if we break down to maybe like 120s, I could consider a buy there. ENSC is also popping up for me. This one looks a little better. ENSC. Also, only 1 million shares, 1 to 2 million shares. So it has more potential to move. I mean, I said move. I didn't say which direction. All right. Positive feedback for FDA on whatever this is, manufacturing approach. I mean, the thing just gave back the whole move in 2 minutes. Dude, what is with all these just absolute crap moves? Just nothing's holding. I shouldn't be getting pessimistic. It's just the reality. Like, look at this, though. Someone buys at like 210 hoping for a bounce, and they go all the way down to like 155. Just holding and hoping is just not working. It's just not a valid strategy right now. So we've seen two spikes with news from the top of the hour. Both of them immediately flushed. This one did have a bit of a pop, to be fair, right? We've gone from 155 up to 184. So this is a bit of a pop. I would have considered maybe trying to buy into this dip, but we're on relatively high volume. And I just didn't really have much time to process it, so I didn't really have time to form a game plan. AUID is kind of curling. That's why I called it early. Can't overstay my welcome. As Ross said, SGBX made a little pop, probably continuing setup for the past few days. Yeah, I saw that Ross, he lost like, what was it? He lost like 8,000 in his main account yesterday. So he just got decimated yesterday. I mean, he made like 700 in his small account, but whoop-de-doo. Yeah, it's difficult right now. It's been difficult, and it's frustrating that it's been difficult for so long. But that's just how it goes. Sometimes it's just like that. We are seeing some volume coming in here, right? These candles have all been higher volume. Maybe I should pivot back to this. Right, 400,000 volume is significant. It's much higher than the previous level. That might be enough to actually override the bearish context here. Right, bearish context on low volume versus bullish context on high volume could be relevant. The problem is we're just kind of grinding up. Not really giving a clean pullback. I'd be basically buying at the highs of this move. I would be buying. LRHC, man, that's a good earnings. News came out at 8:05. Wonder if it'll get noticed. I'm not gonna look at it. I didn't see it. Probably just because, like you said, if there was no volume, it won't pop up on my scanners. I do see we have a bit of a pop. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap here from earnings. I'll keep it on a side chart, but unless volume comes in, I really probably can't touch it too much. Still seeing high volume here. We got clear resistance here. 2 days ago. Had resistance here. Looks like we came up to right around this area and rejected. Pretty clean 1 minute or 15-second setup here. Resolved fairly nicely. I mean, we're still struggling here, but it immediately popped on the break. The problem is this does look like a good setup, but seeing how stocks have been resolving, not only just today, but lately, I'm really hesitant to jump on this near the highs. Really hesitant to do that. Yeah, I'm watching AUID right now. Oh, I don't know. I think it's too risky. Worth noting too, this isn't even the most optimal stock because shares outstanding is a bit higher. That explains partially why this was more of a grind instead of a pull away. This reminds me a lot of that Chinese stock from yesterday, where we were seeing high volume, but it was just kind of like churning back and forth. Reminds me a lot of that. Good morning, Gavin. Good morning, good morning. Took a few trades this morning, up 15 bucks, but it's been rough. I've only really traded one stock. There were a couple others I was watching, but they all just kind of sucked. Yeah, I think it's a... I was going to say it's warmer than yesterday, but I don't actually know if that's fair. It's around the same as yesterday, maybe slightly less cold, but it's still pretty bad. I can feel myself getting bored just waiting. But yeah, I think I'm just waiting for the half hour because I don't like this stock's metrics. It's moving slow too. Okay, Hoth is popping up for me. Let's take a look. We do have news from 8:13. Very kind of weird timing. I'm actually going to jump in here. A little bit aggressive. This catalyst looks very good, though. Okay, we do have some selling pressure, though. I don't like that there's these bigger orders here. I'll just throw out an order here. Do it 1 penny below this order. Really kind of churning just around this 22, 23 level. This is moving a lot slower than I would have liked it to. Got it. Yeah. So this one might have looked a bit weird for me to take this trade, but I had reasons for doing it. When this popped up, I noticed that I got the news and was able to pull it up within less than a minute. So I was basically like first in line kind of mentality. Also, people were probably thrown off a bit because this timing release is a bit unusual. So I thought because I was first in line at an unusual timing, that could have given me an edge. In addition to that, this news, immediately just reading it, sparked, okay, that's a good catalyst, right? Because accepted into NVIDIA Connect program, that just sounds really good. So immediately I'm thinking, okay, I'm first in line, catalyst looks strong, and at the pullback, we're just going to jump in. But seeing it hesitate for this long, right? I was in this for around 3-4 minutes. Same exact news as Odd and Hoth? Did Odd have the same news? I don't think I even read this one because just the stock just kind of died immediately. Okay, really? So this was the same catalyst. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even read this news because I just kind of had given up on this one. Good catch on that. But yeah, after this was struggling for like 4 minutes, I basically wanted this to rip immediately, and it didn't. Because, I mean, if you're first in line, right, you would expect it to resolve immediately. Yeah. Everything's just dying today. Oh, God. Holding near the highs for an extended period of time is just so risky. I only gave this, like, 3.5 minutes, and that may have been too much time. It's crazy to say that. Hmm. Yeah, good catch on the Hoth having the same catalyst. I missed that. Yeah, one other red flag too was, like I said, just seeing the big sell orders stacked up and then seeing it struggle to break through 24. I mean, if we're being realistic, it may have just been worth me bailing out break even or 1 or 2 cent winner because it was struggling at 24 for so long. There was clearly someone suppressing it, so that could have been a red flag, right? I get in, I'm within the first minute, or I'm in within the first minute, and then I'm seeing a wall of resistance. That may have been overambitious for me to even try and stay. And now it's just on the back end of the move. Interestingly, Odd is basically the only one really holding up, other than MNDR. But it's really just Odd and MNDR. So we're like what is it, like a 80% failure rate? 80% of stocks are selling off? Hmm. I guess we're just waiting for the half hour at this point. See if we get anything else. So hard to like just wait these half hours because it's so boring. Yeah, MNDR looks like it's kind of basing around 280s, 290s, somewhere around there. UID, it looks like it's curling again. We have this clear resistance here around 236. I think there was this relevant on the 5-day? Or no, this is Hoth. So we had this, 215. Interestingly, it looks like this level's kind of acting like support. PBM is flashing high prices on broker. Does anyone else see it? Let me just check this real quick. So what you could be experiencing is because sometimes people report late. There's some brokers that will actually allow late reporting. So if you're talking about the tape data, then sometimes that can actually be reporting data from back here. So if the prices you're seeing are like between like 380 and like 340 or something, you could just be seeing late reported data. I'm not sure what values you were seeing, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's what you saw. Small green 2, Captain. Just scalping for pennies these days, man. No, I feel like I'm starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel because I'm even looking at penny stocks and I'm like considering them. And I really shouldn't be touching pennies. Statistically, they're not the greatest opportunity. But yeah, good stuff being green today. I mean, I don't know if you're a bull or a bear, but like in this market, it just feels like being a bull is very, very difficult. Even squeezing $20 out of the market feels like I got lucky today, if I'm being honest. I mean, you look at Hoth, how I did with that, I feel like I couldn't have got the timing much better. Right? I get in during this pullback at 22. I mean, I could have gotten it lower. But yeah, I got in here at 22. I was expecting an immediate return to high kind of setup. And instead we just grind for like 3.5 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, we broke, but this was a bit delayed, so I'm just going to cut it. And then it immediately flushes. Like that's... I mean, I got lucky on Hoth. Hoth would have been a break-even or a small loss. Ross down 2,000. I'm not surprised. I'm genuinely not surprised. This is a very, very difficult market to be a bull. Very difficult market. And it makes it worse because it's lasted so long. I don't know about you guys, but like I'm starting to get impatient. I still think I'm remaining mostly composed, but I am starting to we just want to see those moves, you know? We want to see those 50% moves, those 100% moves, and we're just not seeing them. And when we do see them, it's like one, right? You just see a one-off and then everything else flushes 80%. Like it's frustrating, right? It's very frustrating. It makes you feel very bored. It makes you question if you should even be here. I think there's value in being here because you get to see the market develop in real time, so you know when that shift happens. But I mean, that's part of the cost of the trade. You have to be here for the cold days so you can be here for the hot days. I mean, $86, you should be happy. Heck yeah. I mean, you're like quadruple what I made. Yeah, good stuff. We got 3 minutes to the half hour. AUID still slowly creeping up. You know, this reminds me a lot of EPWK. I can just pull this up real quick. I don't know if this will let me go back over a day. Let's see if it does. Okay, it does. So this reminds me of EPWK, where we had this like kind of slow grinding up, and then it eventually just gave up and rolled over completely. So I see a lot of crossover with AUID, right? It's just kind of a slow grind. I'm curious if it could repeat what it did yesterday, this kind of setup. Okay, so Hoth kind of stabilized, and it's like kind of curling, but the volume's also really low. I mean, there's definitely a chance it could just curl here. But if I'm being honest, I don't think I should touch it. I mean, it's just moving too slow. And the way things have been failing, I really just think I should take only the cleanest setups. Too thick also. Yeah, it is an 8 million share. It's a bit thicker. I mean, Thinkorswim is saying 15 million, so I'll just say 10 million. It's a 10 million outstanding. It's a bit thicker, and it's a lower price. So yeah, that's going to make it rather thick. We saw those sell orders at 134 for like around 50,000 total. So there was a sizable order at 134. There was another order too, but I can't remember where it was. There was a second sell order that was below one. It was like, what was it? It was like 131 or something. But there was like a 20 or 30,000 share sell order, multiple cents below. Yeah, we're at the half hour, so we will see if anything comes out here. AUID also kind of selling off a bit. Yeah. We'll see if we get anything on the scanners here. I mean, I see IRE, but it's just... don't really think it's quite what I would want. Alright, volume's not super high relative to what it's been doing. Yeah, I'm not super interested in that. What was the float on it? Let's see. Yeah, it's looking like around 12 million. AYD is kind of curling. I'm contemplating going back to bed. I'm currently debating if I want to even just... I did it yesterday. Well, so in my head, because we're about 5 minutes in, and I'm seeing nothing on the scanners, I should have seen something by now. So there's probably nothing moving. Like, to me, I'm debating, like, okay, should I stay here till 9? Yeah, I really just gotta stay. Like, I gotta get out of this mentality of just leaving early. At least stay the minimum hours that I'm supposed to be staying here. Because I've been saying 7 to 9. And lately I've been cutting. I know yesterday I asked if you guys wanted me to. And you guys said you wanted me to stay. I respect that. But I really should just stay. But if we see nothing at 9, I'm just immediately gonna get off. Because, yeah, this is definitely a slow market. But yeah, I'll stay till 9. But yeah, if you're like saying screw this, there's no point. I totally get it. This is definitely a painful market to sit without getting bored or experiencing FOMO. It's good practice though. It is good practice. I feel like it really helps me be more patient. I mean, if we're even looking at the trades, I would say I was slightly impatient today. Like the trades I took on PPM was not like super over excessive, but maybe a little bit more excessive than ideal. Given the quality, like we weren't seeing A quality setups. We were seeing like B to B plus quality. Pre-market Momo is your strategy? Yeah. For the day trading, yeah. Pre-market Momo is the strategy. I used to do pre-market or market hours Momo. I also experimented with after hours, but after hours wasn't... That's the only real things that moved after hours were usually like earnings. And they tended to be just more institutional buyers, not really what I was looking for to try and trade, because, yeah, it's not quite as good. But yeah, it was slower after hours, so I stopped trading that. I did have some experience during market hours, but I found that using the news catalyst live tended to help better. And also I've noticed that a lot of the dilution is dodged with pre-market. Not all of it, but most of it is dodged with pre-market. Because like a lot of times what a company will do is they'll put out a headline, they'll wait for the price to go up, and then during market hours they'll dump it. That's what I've experienced anyway. Unless you're like, that is one of the risks of trading a multi-day move, right? Because if you're seeing a stock that is like on day 3 of its move, and you're trying to trade it, you run the risk of the company announcing a secondary offering if they have the shelf registration and all that good stuff. I mean, if you're going to do a multi-day move, you can check to see if there's a shelf registration or not. That way you know if you're running that risk. But if you're trading, if they put out news and the stock is just now running, you don't really have to worry about that secondary offering risk. And you do have to worry about that a bit more during the market session. That was my experience anyway. Also, being able to immediately react to the news is, I found it's a bit more easy to understand the shifts and the dynamics. I found that it's more helpful. Plus, then I use the market session to actually do my swing trading and stuff like that. Market makers ready, really just jump in normal hours too. Stop hunts, chop. Yeah, I don't like using stop orders. I don't know if you've noticed. I mean, you can't really do it in pre-market anyway, but I don't really like the idea of having like a physical stop. Like you said, because they can chase the order, they can see them. And I mean, it's just logical too. Market makers will kind of have an idea. They'll look at a chart and they'll be like, okay, this is clear support. If we push it below this support, people are going to bail. It's like, it's just a psychological thing. Okay, what is this? Okay, CDTG is popping up, but it has basically no volume. It's also a penny stock. Look at it at least. Before we go though, AUID, it's like it's dying. But yeah, this is, I mean, it's slight pop. There's no even point to look at this. There's nothing there. Not even any news on it. Yeah, AUID is breaking down. Right, we've dropped 54 cents. This is just the reality. Very few opportunities. And the ones that do come, 80% of the time, they sell off. Like, what was our biggest gapper? How's our gapper holding up? MMDR. I haven't looked at it. I mean, it's kind of like flatlined. It's holding for the most part. Up around 60%. Just 18 more minutes, then I have an excuse to leave. 18 more minutes. gonna make a pull. Okay, we have it now. Fair enough. At least for me, I'm bored, but interesting to see how there might be some people that aren't actually bored. This is okay to them. I mean, I guess if you're just kind of relaxing, right? Like if you're not really going into this with the mindset of you have to trade, like maybe you have a coffee, maybe you're just kind of relaxing. I suppose that could be a perspective. Am I able to vote? Can I vote? I want to vote yes. I can't vote on my own poll. Well, that doesn't seem very fair. Basically, if you're not losing market money in this market, today's a success. It's true. And I do feel like a broken record when I say it. And I mean, that's mostly just because we're in just such a cold market and it's gone so long. But it is true. If you're green, or not even just green, if you're break even to maybe even just small red, I would actually call today a success. Right? What was the name of that one? TBM. Right? It actually went down lower. That's like getting stuck in something like this where a stock goes from up like 30% to down like 30 is there's just, it's so difficult to manage risk. Or to really not even just manage risk, just to get any edge at all. Pax? Okay, wow, 16 to 24. Significant volume coming in here. It's quite extended, though. It's quite extended on this. What does this look like on the daily? Okay. $150 million, though. It's quite a high float. Can look at it at least since it's doing something. So it went to 28.60 and it dropped to 27. So this thing ranges a ton. $1.63 in 15 seconds. So I guess it looks like they just had really good earnings, and people are upgrading them right now. Like we're seeing $33 price target. It's gone up quite a lot though, and the float's a lot higher. Hmm. I don't know if I want to touch this. I mean, we've already seen it can drop over $1 a share in 1 minute. I mean, technically it was 15 seconds here. So in 15 seconds, this can drop over $1 a share. Well, let me switch to quarter size. If we see a rug setup, I would be somewhat interested in that. It's like this is on lower volume, but we're early into the minute. If we see this pull back hard on lower volume, because we are seeing a bounce, right? 52 to like 80, so it gave a 30-cent bounce. He's down 7. Fuck, dude. Everyone's just like the big dogs. I have a couple other people like Relentless Trader I watch, and just it feels like everyone's kind of struggling. Like aggression is not paying off. We've seen this bounce here, 27.50, but I'm just really worried. I don't know. This volume's light though. Right, we're having high volume on the move up, low volume on the move down. If this breaks down further and the volume stays light, this could actually be a dead cat bounce play. I would probably want something kind of crazy though, like a $27 entry. This definitely has the movement to get to 27. It did bounce at 27 too the first time. Okay, so we're seeing a kind of attempt to break higher here. Descending volume on this pullback. This is a good setup for a volume to chart profile. High volume on the move up, low volume on the consolidation. There is an argument that this is a good setup. Yeah, volume is continuing to drop. So this is a clean setup. 1 minute high. This would be the clear place to buy. I mean, I'm not going to buy here because I think it's too dangerous. I'd rather wait for the safer falling knife setup. But we'll see if the clean setup resolves or not, because this looks pretty clean. The only thing missing is we're not having great volume on this resolution. Could be a bull trap. Considering how much this is consolidated, 27 doesn't feel super safe. Probably got to go for like 26.80 now. $26.76. If we see a flush $1 from here, I would be interested. Yeah, too risky for my blood. I mean, I'm at 1/4 size, to be fair. I'm expecting that this could be a violent move. Even a $1 swing against me isn't unrealistic. You had such a clean setup here, too, on the 1 minute, right? Like I said, high volume on the move up, consolidation. You had 1 minute high after this reduced volume, and then it looks like it might be a bear trap. We'll find out if this, once this resolves. Scalped it short for $8. Okay, so we're retesting this level. Still waiting to see a break. Honestly, I'm gonna drop lower. So I'm kind of following this down as it drops. Because I think a drop to right where my cursor is realistic. I'm actually going to go even lower now. Right, because at this point, buying at 27 doesn't even make sense for a bounce. It's consolidated too much. You know what I need to do is I need to put the Discord link in the description of these live streams. That way I can just say to check out the description if anyone wants to join the Discord. I think going forward for tomorrow, I'll start doing that. Because I don't really have time to go and get the Discord link right now. But yeah, no, this is kind of... It looked kind of cool here, but now it's just kind of... Feels like it's slowing down and churning. $9 a.m. last hope. I mean, I'm not holding my breath, you know? If we see something, I'll trade it. I'm not expecting to see anything. But yeah, let me go ahead. Since I don't think I'm taking a trade on this, let me go ahead and return my shears to normal size. All right, and 9 o'clock will be the final test to see if we see anything. One quick call out for anyone who's watching who isn't subscribed. I do stream every day from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. EST. So if you're interested in watching pre-market action, I do stream it every day and I show my results, win or loss. So if you're interested in that, maybe consider subscribing. I do have a Discord as well. I don't have it in the description or ready on me right now, but going forward for tomorrow, I will have that available as well. So we are seeing this attempt at a breakdown here. MNDR volume picking up. I'll go ahead and check it out. Okay, you're not wrong. We're seeing a bit of a curl here. Worth noting that this volume is, again, very similar to the volume we've seen. So I'm not super impressed by this, but it is curling. This wouldn't be something I think I would trade, though. Its relative volume is too low compared to the rest of the move. So yeah, we've got clear resistance here, 275. We'll see if that holds or not. PAX is breaking down more now. It's around 2650, but it's too late for me, honestly. I wanted that breakdown to happen sooner. Yeah. This isn't the best setup either for a bounce for me. It would need to go down more. Still, this volume of selling pressure is much lower relative to the volume for this move up. So there could be an argue that this was an overreaction. Given how much this consolidated, I don't think I would have felt comfortable taking this. But it's worth noting there is a slight discrepancy here. All right, we're at the 9 o'clock, top of the hour. See if anything comes up on the scanners. I'll give it 5 minutes. Funny enough, PBM from this morning is still making new lows. We're approaching $2 on it, which is crazy. Okay, so this kind of looking like it could make a leg lower. Volume's very low though. Yeah, cool to see that just about half of you aren't bored from this, which is very, very respectable, right? This can be an environment where it's very slow. Being patient is a virtue. So yeah, good stuff for coming here every day and being disciplined and sticking through it. I'm debating if I want to try and take a falling knife setup on this. Should at least readjust size here, because this thing looks like it could be gaining some momentum. Could take advantage of that, maybe. Yeah, it might be the day for you. I mean, I'm going to give it till 9:05, so I'm going to give it another 2 minutes. If I don't see anything, then I'm bouncing. Unless I get in this trade, which could happen if we see a sudden breakdown here. Just looking at support. I'd probably be looking for around 278, 25.78. So we're about 50 cents off of that. But at least I can say I stayed here to see. See if there was anything at 9. All right. I gave it 5 minutes. We're seeing nothing. I'm calling it here. But yeah, okay day. I mean, had a nice first trade. Churned a bit afterwards on PBM. Had a nice little small scalp on Hoth. Other than that, nothing really good. It's a very slow day. Very difficult to find any edge at all. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. I'll go ahead and make the recap later. I'll be back tomorrow morning, of course. You all stay safe out there.